Hello, this is Amanda from Willow and Pip. I run a small soap and candle making business out of my home while I work full time. Why does it take so long to become profitable in this business sector? Firstly, if you are not absolutely passionate about making soap, making candles, if this just isn't something that gets you excited in the morning, you're not thinking about on a regular basis, don't start this. There's if your goal is to make money purely and that's what motivates you, that's absolutely fine. That's great. It's just this business is not for you. And the reason I say that is it takes quite a large investment to start to become profitable and or quite a bit of time to be able to use those profits in a meaningful way where you are able to start to gain. Why is that? So, with making soap and candles, there's a large quantity of raw goods that you have to have on hand in order to make your recipes. Especially at the beginning, there is a lot of trial and error. So, before you even begin selling your products, you definitely have had to make a quantity of soaps, a quantity of candles, burn tested them, given them out to friends and family, sought feedback, and all of that costs money. And there's just a trial period before you're even ready to go to market. On top of this, you have to invest quite a bit of money into packaging, whether you're making, your packaging printing from home or you're outsourcing. It takes a while to get a cohesive look. It takes a while to test the durability of soap bands, to test the quality of candle labels, to test the quality of candle vessels, you name it. It takes time, which takes money. The reason I thought you may be interested in this topic really stemmed from a recent order of material or raw goods I just made. So yesterday I was making bath bombs. In order for me to get my bath bombs down to the unit price, so the cost per one bath bomb, so in order for me to get those bath bombs down to the unit price that I want, so when I sell them in retail, I'm making enough money, I have to make this recipe in bulk. This helps not only with the rate, my hourly rate I'm paying myself, which I have worked out in each unit. So each bath bomb, I know how long it takes me to make and what I'm paying myself per hour. But it also takes making that recipe in bulk with the goal of my unit price to be low enough in relation to how much each ingredient costs. And what I mean by that is there's a specific ingredient I just reordered this morning. So it was baking soda. So most people that make bath bombs make them with baking soda, or that's one of the major ingredients. And I run through baking soda very, very quickly. So as you know, when you purchase any item, the larger the quantity and the more you order, the cheaper it is. So this morning I ordered 15 large boxes of baking soda off of Costco. And that order came to, well over $100 just for baking soda. And so just for that one raw good or that one ingredient, and in my bath bomb recipe, there's several ingredients. So for that one raw ingredient, I'm, into the 150 plus range. And so for that reason, I have to have a healthy business bank account checking volume or a large enough amount of money in my business bank account to absorb that. Because guess what? This afternoon, I'm going to be pouring more candles and I want to have enough wax on hand and fragrance oil on hand. So you get the idea here. You have to stockpile a large volume of raw goods in order for you to get your cost of goods per unit down low enough. And the goal is always chasing that. So The bigger the quantity, the cheaper the ingredients are, the better off you're going to be, and the more productive you're going to be, because you're not always going to be ordering every single time I'm out of a box of baking soda. I'm not going to order one box of baking soda. I'm going to go to my shelf where I keep all of my bath bomb ingredients, and I'm going to see I have a very healthy stockpile of baking soda, and that's going to last me a couple of months before I need to restock again, which is, of course, another inefficiency if you think about it, because all of that time I'm sitting in front of the computer is also time that I'm not getting paid for selling my goods. And so, of course, the rate of your success is going to be dependent not only on your sales, but at the beginning, if you have the ability to supplement it with your own personal income, that's really how I catapulted my business. That's maybe not favorable for many people, but I was in the position where I was able to put a large chunk down, probably 3,000 to 5,000 of my own personal money, just to get started. I had to buy a volume of soap molds, for example, because when I make soap, I make 9 loaves at a time. And those loaves of soap are not cheap. So even just for the equipment that you're going to need to be able to make your goods at a scale to which is going to be, efficient for your time and cost productive, you do have to have some reserve. So if you don't have, a personal reserve to put in at the beginning, you may be in a position where you're comfortable starting out with charging a little bit to a credit card. And if not, I would highly recommend waiting to start. You could start playing around with some recipes to start getting your product line down and to start the testing process. But as soon as you have recipes that are locked in, that are high quality and you're getting really good feedback on, and you yourself have tried and tested, then I think you do need to wait, save some money. Otherwise, it's going to be double or, at least a greater amount of time before you're going to see profit. And that's going to be a very frustrating journey for you, in my opinion. So although making soap and candles for me is very much about the love of that craft, of course, at this stage in the game, if I were not being profitable, it would not be enjoyable. I would not want to be, 3 years into my soap making business and draining my personal funds, taking away from family vacations or spending or really touching that side of my corporate world and all I've worked hard for. So that's also not the name of the game. Anyhow, I hope this thought process has helped you a little bit in your journey, setting maybe some realistic expectations on, what you need to be thinking about before you even get started with this business, and how to scale up, essentially. Thanks very much, folks. Please like for more.